Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be continuing with my Q&A answers segment videos for The Walking Dead Season 5. Only Walking Dead Season 5 related questions, or well, I guess the comic book's okay too. So yes, this will be part 5. Let's do it. Alright, great. So I thought I would just go ahead and continue. I did part 4 the other day, but it wasn't a very long video since I spent most of the time talking about the the green screen. So I thought I better put out another one pretty soon and, focus more on the Walking Dead Q&As, which is what these videos are supposed to be. So without further delay, going on through the list, got about 50. I'm about halfway there now. We'll start off with the first question from the TheCnzgaming. Assume it's a male user. And he asks, "Hey Trev, big fan here, and I wonder if you would make a video on what you think is going to happen after the all-out war story arc in the Walking Dead comic book series." I have now. It was out Monday, I think, of last week. So check it out. It was focusing on the covers and giving my thoughts on what I think we're going to see after all-out war. It's very exciting, very interesting. I'm really hoping we see some kind of time skip or something of the sort, new characters. A big shift in the series. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to see that. Last thing we want is for it to become repetitive with Rick always facing some kind of random villain constantly all the time. That just, wouldn't be the best. So, check out that video if you want to hear more. Next question is from Adam Gontier Fan. The question is, if they find Beth alive and her and Daryl get together, will Carol tell Beth to look at the flowers? That's a great storyline. I think that's a really, really good possibility for this season coming up, that if they're all able to kind of find each other again, if you have Beth and she's able to, if she's still alive and they're able to save her, what's going to happen if her and Daryl get together? And if you have, Carol there, what's Carol going to say? How's she going to react? And some kind of interesting love triangle of them fighting over Daryl. Kind of similar to what happened with Lori with the whole Rick and Shane thing, but I would say they probably would handle it more quickly. It wouldn't obviously be as much of a focus as that was, but I definitely think that could be a great storyline for season 5, and I hope we see that because I'd like to see something like that. Either Carol killed Beth off, or just something really dark. It would be completely within character for Carol to do anything at this point, I'd have to say. After what she had to do with Lizzie and Mika and everything, I don't think there's anything that she would be out of her reach for possible for her to do. Like, everything is within character for her. If she kills anybody, it pretty much makes sense. She's a killer now. She's killed many. So, yeah, good stuff. I would like to see something like that. I hope we do. Next question is pretty lengthy. It's from B. Smurf. Basically, what he wants to know is, he talks about the deleted scene. It's a couple paragraphs, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But essentially what he was saying is that in the episode Clear from The Walking Dead Season 3, which is episode 12, the writing in Morgan's room on I think it was on the walls or the chalkboard or whatever, all that writing all over the place in that main room, he's saying that is it possible that that's similar to what's going on in Terminus with the Terminus room, where you've got the the writing all over the walls and there's candles and stuff like that. And do I think that it's possible for them to reintroduce Morgan back into the story as the leader of an overall leader of Terminus, maybe over Gareth or something, and him having started the group? Well, there are a lot of similarities between how Morgan fights and what he does and what the people of Terminus do, especially the rooftop thing. Definitely, I can see where you're going with that and where you thought that would make sense, because Morgan's place was set up like a trap too. The whole place was booby-trapped, and he would take the high ground on top of a roof and shoot down at people. Plus, he had traps for walkers, so he didn't have much trouble with walkers. He would just clear them out obsessively, and that was basically what he did. So I definitely think that's an interesting idea. I like Morgan being a good guy, though. I wouldn't want to see Morgan being a bad guy. He's just too much fun. I think that if they were to put him on that standpoint on the other side, unless, how could they work that out? What if he saw and he noticed it was Rick and he let him go or something? How would Rick react to knowing that he's been doing this? And That's a tough one. I personally don't think they're going to go that route, so I'm not going to get too much into the answer and go on for too long. But basically, I do want to see Morgan reintroduced in the series. I think that would be a super interesting direction for them to go, but I don't think that's where they're going, because I know Lenny James is busy. He's got other shows he's working on, and a lot of people seem to be misunderstanding this. They think Scott Gimple said that he's going to return for sure in season 5. That's not what he said. He just said that he's going to return for sure. It's the same thing as he said for season 4, and then all the news sources ran wild with saying he's returning for season 4, and he never shows up. This is exactly the same thing that happened last year. People are saying he's returning, it's confirmed, he's going to be back in season 5. It's not confirmed. He basically said that there's some problems with it because he's got another show he's working on, and he will be returning he just said he will be returning. So he didn't specify, is it season 5, is it past then? He didn't. He just said that he will be returning. But we don't know if it's season 5 or not. So just to let you guys know, I know a lot of people out there said for sure he's coming back season 5. Not for sure. Not guaranteed. In fact, I doubt we'll see him in season 5. I'd be shocked if we did, even though it would be really cool, because Morgan's one of my favorite characters in all The Walking Dead. Good stuff. So next question is from Freya Maramo, and he or she asks, don't know if you have if you already have, but maybe a response to the Walking Dead bad lip reading, honest trailer, etc. That's not a bad idea, because there is some really funny stuff out there that's kind of like fan made for the Walking Dead. Bad lip reading is one of them. Honest trailer is another one, and you can watch them online. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I'll write those down, and this summer I'm sure there's probably going to be time one day. Review each of those, put the link in the description so you guys can go watch it, and then kind of, give my thoughts on it afterwards. So that'd be fun. Maybe I will do something like that. Thanks for the suggestion. Next one is, if you could write season 4 any differently, what would you change or add? This is from Cortez. That's a really tough question, man, because there's a lot of things about season 4 I might change. I want to say the way they did the governor, where he shows up. It's cool that he shows up at the end of episode 5, and then we get 2 whole episodes focusing on him. But I think it'd be more interesting if they would have cut that up and put that into different episodes, similar to what they did with season 3. So, for example, give Rick's group half an episode, give the governor and what's going on with him half an episode. Don't bring him in the premiere, or maybe just bring him in at the end of the premiere for a quick minute or something, to have him show him in the premiere destroying all of Woodbury, or something like that, and just kind of cut that up and put it in. I did like where he just appeared out of nowhere and then the total concentration, but I think it would have added a lot if they would have taken out some of the infection stuff, shortened it a little bit, maybe given the governor a little bit more time, but spliced it into those episodes. So that's definitely something I would change there. I would definitely do that. In addition to doing that with the governor, Too Far Gone is perfect. You don't need to change anything there, except maybe 1 or 2 more character deaths. Maybe, here's what they could have done with Too Far Gone. This would have been good. What if they had a couple more characters that they kept around that the infection didn't kill, just like random people? Maybe we know their name, but just barely. And then the infection doesn't kill them. And then when the governor attacks, those people are fighting back with Rick's group, and they die during the battle. I think that would add to it and add to the realism, because when you look at the battle, Herschel gets killed, Rick almost dies, but he manages to survive. And basically, everyone else from Rick's group manages to survive. They do retreat for the most part, and it's extremely well done. But I would have had a couple more survivors that were part of the group at the beginning survive the infection thing and die during Too Far Gone, be shot down and stuff like that. Would be cool. Just add a little bit more to the realism of that. So that's basically the first half. Shorten the infection, splice up the governor stuff, put it in there because I loved it so much, and then add a few more deaths in Too Far Gone of just new characters that are randomly around. Aside from that, the second half, there's a lot of things. I would have shortened Still, the episode Still. You guys know how I feel about that, but yeah, I would have done a lot of things differently with how they did Still. I would have made that half an episode, and I would have shrunk that, and I would have taken probably the next episode, I forget the name of it. Was it, it wasn't Alone. No, it was the one after that, not The Grove. The one where you have Maggie's small group where they meet up with Glenn's group again. Was that Alone? That might have been Alone. I may have shrunk a bit of that as well, too, and combined it with Still so that both of those combined were one episode. Just shrink it down a bit. and then maybe added in some more content along with Joe's group or somebody like that I would have liked to see a little bit more. Maybe see them take on like a herd of walkers or something with Daryl, or add a little bit more drama with that. I think would have been cool and a good usage, because Joe's group's obviously not in the show anymore. So maybe if we spend a little bit more time with them rather than all that concentration on just Beth and Daryl and Still, and shrunk that a little bit, I think it would have worked out well. And there's a lot of the things about the second half I might change. The first couple episodes are really good. The stuff with Glenn, Abraham, and all them is really good. The stuff with Maggie and Bob and Sasha is not the best. Like I said, I'd shrink that a little bit. Shrink the stuff with Daryl and Beth. And then aside from that, I think you're pretty much good. A little bit more concentration on Joe's group. The director of the finale, I would have liked to see Ernest Dickerson direct that, because he's such an amazing director with the Terminus thing and everything. And I'd like to see here's the biggest one. I'd like to have them show us what happened to Beth in the finale. I would have wanted to see that. I would have wanted to see, so we don't have to wait all the way till October to find out exactly what did happen to Beth, what occurred. I would have had it in the finale. That's probably the biggest thing I would change, because I think we deserve to see that in the finale, and we should have. Let's see. The last question for this video I'll make is from Chaz Do It, and he asks, who could be the next villain after Negan? Well, I have no idea, because we don't know what direction Kirkman's going with this. It almost looks like he's going to be having some kind of time skip. We're not going to be focusing that much on Rick's group anymore. The book's going to be drastically different, so we'll have new characters and new groups, and so there's whatever his imagination can come up with for another villain. I imagine somebody a lot different from Negan. I imagine somebody like a leader of a huge society or something, and Rick's huge society, and maybe have them go at each other or something. Somebody like that. Maybe Dwight could be a big villain if it doesn't work out with him. I could definitely see that. Something along those lines. That's what I'm thinking we'll probably see. So I think that was good for one. I'll save the rest of the questions for the next one. This will be part 5. If you guys missed any of the others and you want to see more, click my name below for the channel name, and check out the channel. Just type in Q&A Season 5. You'll find it for The Walking Dead. There'll be 5 parts. Only the 4th part is where I talk about the green screen a little bit, but aside from that, it's all Walking Dead stuff for the most part. So check it out if you missed any of them, and I'll be doing another one pretty soon. Part 6 will probably be up within 3 to 4 or 5 days, something like that. And if you have any other video suggestions for single videos, not just for Q&As, if you have questions, send them to me. But if you have any video suggestions in particular, please send them to me. And that's it for this one. So I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for part 6. This is Trev, as always, saying peace.